Can't unmute. All right. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, depending on where in the world you're logging on from. You've logged in to the Save Club content drop and training Zoom on this Monday, the 26th of January, 2026 already. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to our amazing CEO. He's got some great stuff to share with everybody. And it's great to be back here after getting my butt kicked from that flu over the last 2 weeks. So over to you, Charles.
Hey, Matt, thanks for the great introductions there. And today's training, we're going to be going over some mindset training from the 100 Good Days program. So I see many of you have taken a look at what's going on here. We've just been constantly adding to this training back here. Now, really, where we get into a lot of the technical training inside of the 90-day blitz about how to make videos and how the back office works and all of that. But a lot of what success is, it's a mental game, and it's about where do you see yourself getting to with the business? Can you work from home? How much can you make? And also just kind of like what type of pace do we run with growing your business? And so I'm going to show you guys the 100 Good Days for those that you have not seen the program. But it's right here. It's free for Save Club affiliates. Just going to move some of this stuff out of the way. And it's the classroom here is just loaded up with stuff. So you just go to schoolskool.com/100gooddays, and we've got the community here. And we're growing here. Actually, let me approve a couple people. It's like new people are getting started all the time. And inside the classroom, we've got a little fast start of what to do. These are all images that I created to go along with the stories and the trainings. And then throughout the trainings, we've got different videos here that just break down the concepts here. This one here, escape the prison of perception, free yourself from limiting beliefs. It's just broken down. We got a couple quotes in here, and then an action step. So an action step for today: pick one comfort or routine that holds you back. It could be food, a substance, a relationship, a job, or a habit. Replace it today with a single empowering action that supports your growth. Write down a new truth, what's going on. So applying this to like the Save Club business, a limiting action about, the type of prospects that you see, or maybe it could be posting online, or it could be something else, some sort of crutch that you have about how you could build your business or what a prospect does, and, work to replace it in your life. So, also, taking action's an important piece to growing the business, and there's plenty of that in there. But yeah, just plug in here. And I'm going to continue to just be adding stuff to the 100 Good Days training as it goes on in here. And you got a couple of pages in here, and we'll just keep growing it from inside here. Now, these pieces, if you'd like to get more insights, I took these lessons here straight from the book. And if you want, I put the book up for free on lifestylemastery.com, and you can actually get that. It's underneath the blog. Kind of spread this page out a little bit. Underneath the blog here, there's extended lessons right here in the blog. But I wanted to tailor the school piece. So this is lifestylemastery.me. Is a book I came out with last year, and then I just put all the different trainings up here, and so let's get a little bit further into that as it goes. So I just wanted to kind of rehash that we have that training up there, and it's we're constantly adding to that piece. So where do I hold on? How do I? Okay, there we go. Now, this week we've been working on our different co-op functions. Matt was asking me there, how do we get a system in place where we can be pulling in leads and prospects. So I want you to think about what getting a lead or a prospect through a landing page actually what that's worth. So as we've been trying different traffic sources, it costs when you're doing paid traffic or we're taking a list, we're emailing it, we're text messaging it, and we're getting prospects into a landing page. And to get a prospect to a landing page to put in their name, phone number, and email address on the very good side, it costs about $2, and it can go as high as like $5 or $6 when the traffic's just not prepped right. So I want you to think about, with your business, every time you get a prospect to go to a landing page, put in their name, phone, or email address, there's a value to that. And so you just think, if we've got a target price point of $2, okay, so you've got a lead, you get it into the system, and on the low end, it's like worth $2, right? Well, if you're converting just one person out of 10 and on an affiliate enrollment, that's $20, you're good. So anything better than that, you're doing. And now across the system for pre-enrollees, of pre-enrollees that come in through a landing page upgrade, I looked at it last night, it's at 17%. So when you actually get a real prospect in through a landing page and plugged into the system, that's a pretty good conversion rate. So you got to be thinking, okay, it becomes a numbers game when you start getting people through a landing page and seeing there. Now you can supplement this with, you've got prospects that you could get through paid traffic through the co-op, but I just want to make sure that we've got the numbers, the quality working at such a way that when we turn that on, it is one, the quality is good and the quality is scalable. So you got to think, okay, you don't need to go enroll hundreds and hundreds of people yourself. But if you can get 4 who get 4, you're a 2-star. That's just 2 levels of duplication. And you do that again and again. And once you start rolling through the duplication, now that could be a combination of people from your warm market, people that you bring the app to, people that you introduce to social media, people that you have in your phone contact list, and then supplementing with additional prospects through the co-op. Now, when you have that type of leverage rolling through, you can imagine if you built your organization to 100 people, and those 100 people take action in a co-op where they're getting like $100 share. Well, that'd be 100 times 100. Okay, that's like a $10,000 marketing spend, but it's spread across all the different people. Now, if you had 1,000 people in your group and they took part in a $100 co-op, that's like having $100,000 in marketing running through your group, and you can see how fast that can compound. And so, if you look at like let's say we're averaging leads into the co-op at a couple dollars. Well, that's 50 prospects. Well, if you've got 100 people in your group and they've got 50 prospects rolling in each, that's 5,000 new prospects into your group. That's the power of duplication and why you can actually achieve solid residual income with this compensation plan. So, I was talking with some other prospects over the last, or some other affiliates, and we were looking at other compensation plans. They go, oh, look at these plans where, it's like you get 3 and it covers this. I go, yeah, but that's so shallow. So yeah, you'd be able to get some people into your front line and you're good. But when the compensation is just eaten in between 1 and 2 levels, you're missing out on the volume that comes from this 2x16 matrix. So it's about that duplication, and it's that mindset of you don't have to go out and conquer the world. You first help people get 2, which is going 1 star inside of our compensation plan, and that's an affiliate or a member. And then from there you get 4. Why you need 4 is because that's how you're able to reach into going 2-star. And that's the real big jump, is to go from 4 personals to 4 and a total group of 20. And that gets you into the global bonus pools. And that group of 20 there with the global bonus pool at that first rank, it helps you with it's all the volume across the company, but that gets you into a profitable situation. So the focus here is going to be helping everybody achieve these 2 ranks by going 1 star and then going 2 star. And by doing that, we'll start to see the compounding growth throughout the organization, and it really gets the momentum going. Now you got to think about how the power line system works as well. So as we start running traffic into the system, and we've got maybe let's say 1,000 people participating in a co-op, and that is 50 leads each. That's 50,000 new prospects coming in to the system. That's why I say it's extremely important that we have to be scalable. Well, what does the power line look like when 50,000 prospects come in and we're converting at the system now is at 17%. Let's say we're with the AI tool stuff we're at 20%, and you start to see since you've entered 5,000 people have come into the power line after you, 15,000 people have come into the power line after you, 25,000 people have come into the power line after you. That may go on for a couple of weeks, but those messages become very exciting, and that's the difference between any type of other program that is out there. We have this powerful system, which is the power line, and it works on momentum. So over the last 6 months, building a solid foundation here with Safe Club, getting the tools and systems and messages and communications in place. This is what's going to allow us to start going at that. But the exciting part of the power line is that when you've got messages rolling in throughout the week, and it's like it's since you've entered 1,000 people have come, and 3,000 people have come, and 5,000, and then it starts showing numbers of people upgrading. And let's say it's at 10%, 15%, 20%, and you start to see 50 people have joined, 500 people have joined, 1,000 people have joined, and these are the people that we're calling and we're inviting back to the training calls, the content drops, the prospecting calls. Then we have this arsenal of materials. And when the Safe Club, the ads, our content drop, that starts hitting the marketplace, and people start seeing it from other places, especially when you have people within the direct sales and network marketing industry. By the way, that's what we're targeting here. So the databases, the lists, the emails that we're pulling together for these co-ops, they're built of people within the networking space. So when you start to see Save Club, you see it over 6 months, and it starts coming together. It's the accumulation of seeing those marketing pieces over and over again that get people interested. And as we're turning on text messages, phone calls, and emails, it becomes this point of I don't want to say saturation, but it's kind of like a tipping point in your mind. Same reason why you go out and you see a Coca-Cola ad on a billboard in the back of a truck and on television and in the store and all that. And the big brands know that it takes 8 separate impressions before you think to yourself, oh, I want to drink a Coca-Cola. But it's that repetition of what is there. And so that's what we're going to be working towards over these next months is, building up the momentum of what's going on here. So if you'd be interested in taking part in a co-op and with your team, we're going to be turning this thing on. We've got already a lead store built. I'm just so cautious, guys. Internally, we have to test this over and over again. I'm just so cautious about putting something out there until we know that our conversion points work. Then the quality is going to be there, because the prize for getting it right is kicking this thing into momentum and watching your group grow. And so, you got to think that if you've got 10 people in your group and they get 4, well, then boom, you got now 50 people in your group, and they get 4, you've got 200 people in your group. and they get 4, and you've got 800 people in your group. And this can happen in like consecutive weeks through the power line. And that's the type of momentum that we saw with, with another company where, they were having months of 300,000 enrollments, and just, big groups of people were experiencing this. And it was not any single individual doing an incredible amount. It was that momentum and that excitement that is building. And so it starts with getting the mindset right that this can happen. And from a like the ownership leadership standpoint of this, myself having to go through and really modeling this stuff out and seeing where it's going, and then being able to articulate this, to the whole crew here to see where we got. And we've got so many great leaders here on board. There's been so many different tools and prospecting tools that we've been using. One of the projects that we turned on last week that's working phenomenally well. We have one of our better closings on this last Friday on the power line, because we were using a very simple system of a prospect coming in and then either calling or text messaging and playing a 90-second recorded message. So it really removed someone from the online videos and once it's not a big commitment, because it's a phone call with a 90-second message, or it's a text message. Listen to this 90-second message, and then you call them right after. You pull them into the 8-minute video, and that's enough for people to be seeing it, making a decision to become an affiliate. And so, seeing that where we have simple duplication, where someone can get started, it doesn't have to be this long tail to get someone interested in learning every aspect about Save Club. It's literally about a 10-minute of presenting, and then bringing someone into a decision where they can make a decision to test drive the business and the product for $80. And so, helping getting that excitement, showing people that they can get started, and in their first week, make an exposure, get enrollment, earn a commission, and that that confidence is going to breed more and more growth within that. So the other piece too is we've been bringing out new tools to help people expose the business, and part of that is like our the products that we have, from the exclusive deals, and there's been a new page here that we'll have live that goes through all of those deals. So I just wanted to let everybody know we've got this co-op system pending. If you're interested in taking part in that, I'll put out a message, and we'll kind of bring everybody into individual training. And I want to show you guys completely where it comes from, because a lot of people over the time say, well, I'm getting leads, but I'm doing it through these solo ads or these other places. Well, I want to show you complete transparency about what we're doing this. I started doing lead gen in like 2004. And, it's evolved a lot over the years, but it really starts with quality inputs. And it's about having a exclusive lead that goes in your system, and you're able to reach that person in a quick fashion, so that once somebody comes in, we've got emails, we've got a call that's only at the most would be just a day away or something. So you can invite them to something live, or you can get them a recording right away. And it's that when someone's looking for a way to earn extra income, or they're looking for a new business opportunity, getting them exposures, and it really takes a few exposures. So let's go back into one of the trainings we did with the 90-day blitz. So you're exposing someone to the opportunity. I'm going to keep inviting people. You're exposing someone into the opportunity. You're piquing their interest. And so that 90-second phone call, where it's a brief message piquing their interest, and you've got them from home plate to first base. I'm going to go over playing baseball. Well, once you got someone there, it's another exposure that is needed. And that's where we've got that original video. It's 8 minutes. I played it for a group of people this weekend, and it worked out fantastic. I remember that. Wow, that's a great tool. It's exciting. It's engaging. It's got the sound and the graphics that really work. So that first peaking of the interest can happen on a landing page, or once you've got that lead, and they go, well, having money as the product, being able to get savings, a low price point. These are the things that are exciting. And then you get them into the second exposure from first base to second base, and then onto a live webinar, a call, or a three-way phone call. And that's 3 exposures. And that can happen in a matter of like 10 minutes from listening to a call, getting into the full video, and then bringing them back to the website, which would count as a third exposure. And right there, they can join. And so being able to track that, and as your prospects are coming in, that you're counting, you can put a little tally saying, oh, 1 exposure, 2 exposures, live webinar, enrollment, and then starting that process again. And that's what we'll start to see the momentum just grow and grow. So with that, I always leave plenty of time here on Monday to open up and chat with everybody. Let me show you one of the new pages that we got here that will help with the prospecting.
I'm going to show the content drop, Charles.
Yeah. Could you please? Does it pull this up?
Yeah. Oh, let's see something. That's okay. So, nope. All right, guys. So this week's content drop. I had food poisoning all weekend, so no fun for me. I've only had 2 meals in like the last 48 hours here, but I was able to get some of these done. So while I was sick, I was thinking about a lot of people are sick right now, like Matt catching the flu, all these kind of things. So I said, let's do this content drop on our healthcare program because it's very valuable here. So I built a bunch of graphics for you on our awesome health savings plan that you can use. And this is such a hot topic right now. This is very easy to go post and get people asking how, right? Especially at our price point where you get a whole family for like $49.97. So we did all these killer graphics for you on this that you guys can use, choose which one you want to use, go grab it. And then what we did is we gave you 20 different posts that you can copy and paste and add your link. As you know, we do have a healthcare link with a healthcare video in it. We give you an entire capture page just based around this product. And you can go out there and copy and paste any of these. They're already done for you. And all you got to do is add your link to it and then grab one of these pictures and add it with your post. It doesn't get any easier. It's literally copy and paste. All right. Because everything's done for you. You got your link, you got your post, you got your picture. So go post and go watch what happens. But it's all done for all of you. And think about this too. All of you that are building teams, we made it so easy for your teams to have success. We literally just say, here's everything. Here's your page. Here's your post. Here's your picture. Just copy and paste and boom. Do you know anybody that can copy and paste? Yes. You know anybody that wants to make money? Yes. You know anybody that wants to make money by just copy and pasting? Yes. How easier does it get than what we do for you guys in Save Club? So thought it was pretty cool. I managed to get through this weekend. I was pretty down and out, but we got it done. All right, Charles, that's it.
Yeah. Let me share my screen again here. And okay, I want to show you guys another piece that's you'll start to see this domain used a lot more. It's the let's see, what page am I showing you guys right now? Make sure it's the right page here. So what you'll start to see here is this saveclub.ai domain using more. And so as we are doing that, you'll start to see the chat boxes popping up. So this is a widget here that we've been training. This is an AI-powered chat box. This is the same piece that we'll be using inside of text messaging and inside of calling. And one thing we're doing here is with the chat box is we're able to survey people both on the phone call and in the chat and be able to gather their information. So as they're inside the chat, we can take their name, phone number, email address, and do it in a conversational piece. And that'll help get information into the forums and get people opted in. So this is all stuff that we work on back and forth. There's different agents that we've been building, some for that are more like customer service focused, some that are focused on the deals, and then others that are focused on getting people into the funnel and looking into the pages. So as this turns on and we get this just being more and more effective, we'll start putting the chat box onto each and every page within the system, and then it'll just self learn from that. But it's important that we want to have the AI system directing people towards the next action that we want them to take. So if they're asking a question about a product, we want to be able to send them to get the information right away and shortcut them from looking around, but then also be driving them to the action that we want to take, which would be an upgrade. So this is the first iteration of just what's hitting the system, and then once I'm comfortable with how it's working, it's not a distraction, it's actually adding value to the conversion, then we're just going to turn it on live into all the different places. And so it's been a long process, building all of this and getting it all set up so that, number one, it functions on everybody's individual replicated website, and that all the tracking and pieces are there, that when a profile is set up for a pre-enrollee, so when someone becomes a lead, that the system knows that it's them, and then we'll pick up on the conversation right where it left off, so that it's a really smart system. So if someone is inquiring or asking about something, or they're part of that conversation has happened before, it could reference it, and then it knows that person through their whole life cycle of their Save Club experience, from the moment that they become a prospect on the landing page all the way through 6 months, a year, however long they'll have that relationship with the with Savvy, that Save Club AI. So super excited to get that out there, and again, want to make sure that it's scalable, and that as we start to turn on traffic and we're working with the co-op, you got to think how fast this can grow. So if you've got let's say we have 1,000 people, and that brings in 50 leads each, that's 50,000. Well, the next set of that could be, let's say we enroll 10,000 people. Well, the next set of that is we have to have a much more expanded piece. So it's just supply and demand. We want to keep the quality high on traffic. Well, we've got to try all the different traffic sources so that we can keep that rolling. And that's why it's good to have a combination of both, email traffic, paid traffic, blog traffic, and that all of them are scalable. But it's also good that we get the trainings in place too, because we're pulling people from every different aspect, and we've had people doing warm market flyers. We've got nonprofit groups starting with QR codes on handouts. We've got flyers for merchants so they can get them inside of the stores. So each one of these tools is going to help add to that momentum. And I'm excited to see the day when we have the Powerline system rocking, and we're looking at weeks where we're putting on thousands of pre-enrollees in here, and that excitement gets going. So I want everyone to have the vision and the sight of what that looks like, because I've been doing Powerline systems for about 20 years, and there's nothing more exciting in the network marketing space than having that momentum going, having that fear of loss and that sense of urgency, and then watching a matrix fill in, and it all happens from momentum. And so the systems and the progress of where we're going to get to that is we're right there. So that's the vision I want to put forth of what we're doing, and I really think that having a boost of the proper traffic and co-op will really help all of your prospects that are already in the system, plus anything new that you bring in.